Hey, beautiful people, and my name is Kristen. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today that I'm filming is Thanksgiving. I'll probably get this edited and up on the weekend, so I hope that you had a fantastic holiday and that you have even maybe those last few scraps to linger. I want to know in the comments what your favorite thing is. I love that. I think I'm a little unusual because my very favorite part of Thanksgiving meal is the cranberry sauce. And I like it on, even non-traditional things. But to me, that's the best part. So I have a haul. Now, there are all these booktubers that are doing these crazy pledges where they're not buying books until they read a certain number. And I, to that, say, thumbs up, you go. I appreciate you. I support you. Not this girl. Especially in the month of November, it is my birthday month. I get gifts, I get gift certificates, and maybe you could say, okay, well, those are the rules, but no, I love, and books go on sale for Christmas. This is one of my favorite times of the year to acquire books. So maybe I will take up that challenge, but not during this season. For me, I look forward to doing a book haul. So for those who maybe watch a lot of those other channels that are not going to be doing hauls, come on over. We're doing a haul today. So my first book that I received from my birthday, all these I got from my birthday. Either I got directly the book or I got money and bought the book. So this lovely book by Joy Harjo, this is called Catching the Light, and it is a book of poetry of Native Americans, just beautiful take on creation, on the world, on thoughts. Let's see. The back says, I do not know when the first poem was, where it came from, or exactly how. I just know how much I needed it. The scrawl, the questioning, the words lining up in a musical sound since to make something from the everything of nothing. I was in the dark and decided to investigate the dark to find the light. So Catching the Light. Isn't that beautiful? And this book and the next one I had put on my wish list from Brandon's bookshelf. So I will try to find the video where he talks about that, where he actually did a review, as well as this one. So my son bought these off my wish list. So when I see an awesome review that strikes my interest, I put it on the wish list. And look, now family are buying me some of the books. It's working. Woohoo! So Stephen Ambrose, Undaunted Courage. This is a history book. Basically, the whole Lewis and Clark and kind of founding America. And I was really fascinated when I was in Pittsburgh at a history museum. There was a really cool, like an entire wing of just the Lewis and Clark expedition. And I just ended up like, it was one of those things where you're just reading all the little boxes and words. And it was just so fascinating because I studied that in school, but somehow when I was there at the exhibit, it was just all these details that I didn't feel like I had ever heard or knew anything about. And it was just so interesting. So this was a book that was recommended. And I said, that's something I really want to read more about because that was pretty much my favorite part of the museum. So there it is. Don't know when I'm going to read any of these, but they're definitely going on my TBR. I'll get to them sometime in the next year or two. Then look, it came out. Brandon Sanderson's The Lost Metal. The sad thing about this one, this is the fifth one. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh one. Seventh and kind of final concluding one in the Mistborn. There's a trilogy and then another trilogy, and this is kind of the final wrap up or whatever of Wax and Wayne, kind of Wild West steampunk in a magic realm of metal magic, where metal has certain properties, and it's just really a lot of fun and very atmospheric. But I haven't read the one before it, so I will need to read that one before I can read this one. But I got basically the book the day it came out. So that's kind of exciting, even though it will probably sit around for a couple months and wait for me to catch up to it. I also, for my book of the month, got Lessons in Chemistry free as my birthday book of the month. So this book I have seen on multiple of my friends' channels reviewing it, and for the most part it's been pretty positive. Some people have really loved it and gushed about it and thought it was so cute, and it's basically a clever romance kind of story. And I don't know too much about it. I just know that when I've heard people talk about it, it sounds like it has something to it besides just the traditional romantic tropes that make it interesting enough and have some humor and some good dialogue. And I'm here for it. So I figure as a free book for my birthday, we're going to go with this one. This may be a new release that I read as my 12th new release for the year and complete that goal. Or I may pick one of the ones that come out in December. We'll see. We'll see. Then I believe Well Traveled Books did a review on this. If not, I apologize, and I will put the video to that review below. But this is another Neal Shusterman book. I'm not sure if this is young adult or adult. So this one actually is about a water crisis, which isn't that far-fetched, especially in certain parts of the world or regions, because that is a real thing and it's really scary. And so I look forward to reading this one. And let me know in the comments. There's another, the only thing I've read from him is the Scythe series. So I know there's another one out there that's also similar to that, about something about everybody has their children no matter what, but then they can decide to unmake people when they're like teenagers, which I work with teenagers as a career, so that sounds really haunting. But let me know if you know that, or if you recommend it or don't recommend it. Then I got a beautiful copy for my Penguin cloth bound because it's my birthday, and why not get one of your collector ones? And I really adore this cover, but this is Vanity Fair, which I actually DNF'd Vanity Fair, but I still wanted to own this copy for my collection because I think it's beautiful, and I may someday give it another chance, although probably not. I think this just is one of those books that's really not for me so much, but I appreciate that it's a classic. And why it's a classic, it's basically, a lot of these are short stories that were written for magazines or newspapers or whatnot, and then put together in a larger book. And this is one of those kind of things. So I think part of the challenge of that sometimes is having the cohesive flow when it's put together or when it's been pieced together, because I had a really difficult time with that particular book. But I know some people like it. I don't hear a ton of people raving about it though, to be honest. Next, I got a book that I have wanted for a really long time called 26 Marathons. This is Meb, and I never know quite how to say his last name, but he is a famous runner, famous marathoner, just a really outstanding, not only runner, but just man of faith, a friend, just always, you just hear so many stories about him going the extra mile for people, so to speak, and sometimes literally. And so this is his kind of biography about stories about running, and I'm just really looking forward to learning more about kind of the behind the scenes stuff, because I've been a big fan for a long time. Then with that one and this one I bought for myself with a Barnes & Noble gift card. So this is The Radical Act of Free Magic. This is the second in the duology. The first is the Declaration of the Rights of Magicians. And this duology was originally recommended to me actually by a bookseller in a local used bookstore that I have. And it's one of those where you take a bunch of your books in, you get credit, and you get books on credit. And so when she saw the stack of 18 books that I brought in, she said, hey, I think based on these and what you've told me about these, that this is a book that you would love. So this is a story of historical fiction, but magical. So there are the actual historical figures, and then they're retold in the sense that there is a magic system that is layered on top of our reality, and you're trying to figure out who has what magic and what are the rights of who can use it and how are they going to make things happen. And it's the first one was very dialogue driven and very kind of figuring out the plot in your head versus actually the action happening. So I'm not sure about this one. I'm pretty sure this one has Napoleon. Yes, this one is set in France following Napoleon. So I don't know when I'll get to that, but I'm super excited to get to it eventually because I really loved that other one. This one, Fight Night, I got based off of Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. So she had done a review, and this is one of her favorite books that she had read recently. And I have a little small, it's not a used store, it's a new bookstore, but it's just a little hole in the wall. And it is literally in the building complex of stores that I used to frequent when I was a little girl. So it's not right by where I work and live, but because it was in the same building as a place that I used to go, I went and checked it out, and it's just a really quaint little small business that I want to support. So I went in and I had a bunch of credit. Basically, this wasn't necessarily a birthday gift in the sense that, you know, someone gifted it to me, but you get a small discount for your birthday month. Plus, I had some credit because I had made so many purchases, that kind of, you know, buy 10, get one free kind of thing. So this was what I got for basically less than half price of the cover. So really looking forward to it. I know it has to do, I think the girl is 9, and I think it's her grandmother, or there's a dialogue basically between a very young woman and an older seasoned woman. And that's pretty much all I know, but just the way Alice was talking about it, I can leave her video below if I can find it. It just sounded like so poignant and sweet and beautiful and something that I would absolutely love. So I used my birthday discount and got that. And then the final one is another Penguin cloth bound. I got Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, and I just really thought this was a striking cover. Looks very kind of government orderly, and I have never read any of his books yet. And so I'm not sure if this is the one that I should start with, or maybe the other one with the brothers, or where I should start. So if you have read Dostoevsky and have an opinion where to start, let me know in the comments below if this is the one I should start with. I think that's the only one of his that's in Penguin cloth bound, so maybe, I don't know. So wasn't that great? I am just had the best bookish birthday and just loved all these books. And so for my friends that are kind of on a ban, you may live vicariously through me. I will love on them for you. And then in the future, when I try to catch up and don't buy any and read these, then you can go out and do the same for me. So hope that whatever you are reading, whether it's something you've had on your shelf for a long time or something brand new that you just bought, that it is just bringing you lots of joy and just a great adventure just to enter the book and have a moment just to be somewhere else, be someone else, and just explore a whole new universe. Y'all have an amazing day. Take care now.